Hey guys, it's Castro72, and this is my pickup video for the past 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna get right to it. I went to GameStop, and I decided, I'm gonna start collecting more Game Boy Advance games because I have a Game Boy Advance player for my GameCube, and I got Phantasy Star Collection. And at GameStop they were selling it for $4.99, and with the Edge card it ended up being $4.98. Now this game actually has 3 Phantasy Star games on it. The original one for the Master System, and Phantasy Star 2 and 3 from the Genesis. And I'm really surprised that they were able to pack all those games onto this little Game Boy Advance cart. It kind of boggles my mind. I mean, back in the day, they used to say those Phantasy Star games were like, I don't know, 4 mega on the Master System, and now they just fit on a Game Boy cart. So, wow, technology. Anyway, at the Unique Thrift store, I found this Genesis game. It's called Desert Demolition, starring Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. I got it for $2.99. It's valued at $5, and it's a Rarity 3. There was no case for it. I'll give it a shot. I hope it's a little better than that SNES Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally. I didn't really like that one too much. I also went to the Salvation Army, and for some reason there were a lot of N64 games there. The first one I got was F1 World Grand Prix, and it's $1. I got it for $1, and this game is Rarity 3, valued at $10. So not too bad there. The second game I got was Wile Country Club True Golf Classics. Again, I got this for $1 at Salvation Army. It's a Rarity 3, valued at $7. So that's a big win there. And I got Wheel of Fortune, also $1 at the Salvation Army. A Rarity 3, valued at $11. And I bought those 3 games, and then I also noticed in the case that they had a Wavebird. So I asked them to pull it out, and this is it. But it didn't have the little receiver that goes onto the GameCube, to receive the signals. So, I asked them, do you have that? And the woman didn't know what I was talking about. And also, there wasn't a price on it, so she had to ask her manager. And I told the manager, well, there's no receiver. So he said, you can take it for $1. So, I got it for $1. So hopefully, I can find the receiver somewhere. Anyway, I put all those games in my cars, the N64 games, and this in my car, and I said, you know what, I should really look for that receiver. And I went back into the Salvation Army, and I was crawling through this big tub of wires and power adapters and stuff. And unfortunately, I wish I could tell you that I did find the receiver, but I didn't. But I did find this Game Boy Advance to GameCube cable, and of course, it didn't have a price on it. And but I wanted to get it. And as I was walking up to the counter, I also noticed in the bric-a-brac section that this game was lying around there. And it was Army Men Sarge's Heroes. And I got it for $1. It was a Rarity 3, valued at $10 for N64. The funny thing about this cable was, I knew I wanted to get it for cheap. And I almost did something that I shouldn't have. What I was gonna do is I was gonna take a sticker off of a picture frame that was 60 cents, and just kind of place it on there. And just as I was about to pull off that 60-cent sticker, my conscience kind of got to me. It's kind of like in the cartoons when the little angel shows up on your shoulder, and I didn't do it. And the funny thing is, when I went up to pay for Army Men and this cable, I was looking for one of the cashiers that probably would be the nicest, and I picked the guy with the ponytail because I thought, oh man, maybe he'll be sensitive. Those guys with ponytails are sensitive. But that's a stereotype, by the way. If you guys have ponytails, I take that back. But anyway, so I went up to the guy with the ponytail, and I said, I found this this cord, and even before I said anything else, he goes, 25 cents. And I was like, oh, okay, 25 cents, which is even cheaper than the 60 cents I would have put on as a sticker on the cord myself. So, I guess it pays to be honest. It's a little story there. Anyway, going on, I also went to the disc replay, where I found this Game Boy game. It's a Game Boy Color game called Power Quest. Now this game, actually, the artwork looks like it's like some sort of Mega Man game, but it's made by Sunsoft. And I got this game for $3.99. It's valued at $6. It's a rarity 2. And I also got, for the Super Nintendo, Fatal Fury Special. I got it for $3.99. This is a rarity 2, valued at $6 as well. I actually own this game, but I thought I'd get it because, I don't know, people kind of like fighting games, and it's usually good for trade value. And last but not least, I got 2 new PS3 games, and it's unusual for me to get PS3 games. That's like one of my smaller libraries for current gen stuff. And I got Africa from GameStop. This was $49.99. Now, this game isn't getting much press. It's kind of like a Pokemon Snap type of deal where you go through Africa on a safari and take pictures of animals. I thought that sounded interesting, so I bought it. And because with current gen games, I think like a collector. I think, you know, I better get this game. It's probably not going to get much press, and it's probably not going to have too many printings. You know, it's probably going to be one of the rarer ones in the end. And so I decided to get it. You know, I don't get games like Assassin's Creed 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, but I end up with games like Africa. You know, go figure. And I also got from Target Lost Planet, which was $9.88. It was on clearance, and I know there's a robot in here that's going to be featured in the new Tatsunoko versus Capcom fighting game for the Wii. I'll see how well I do at this game. I'm usually not too good at these 3D adventures, but anyway, that's all I got. Just wanted to share it with you guys. Happy game collecting.